and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought that it was time to finally cut my crawling plants. Oh my goodness, that looks so freaking uneven because I've lost some leaves in here. But my Mamei as well as my Gloriosum have reached the end of their trough pots. And so it is time to give them a chop in order to hopefully make them fit better in the pot and give them like a little bit more room. Before I make the chops, I just want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos and subscribe to my channel if you're not new here. Thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it. Let's get into it. So the way I see it, I've got a couple different options for plants like this. Because they are crawlers, I could take this and put it in a longer pot, but trough pots are very freaking expensive. Like, holy freaking cow, they cost so much. And so there's not much in between this and the huge 50-liter one I have my Gloriosum in, which you'll see in a bit. So there's kind of not really many choices out there, unfortunately. I suppose this one doesn't need to be in a self-watering pot, even though it's just one of the rectangle pots that I have, because this one is in soil. But I thought it would make the most sense to chop it in half and then have two halves running along this thing, and then it would grow from the top and hopefully from another growth point on the bottom half of the cutting or the plant. And because it is a crawler, it is rooting all the way along the entirety of this pot. So it's almost like it's already been propagated. I don't really need to do much work in getting it like sorted in the new pot. It's kind of just like potting up an already propped cutting. So it's fairly easy, but I figured I would do it with you because why the frick not? So I'm gonna start with my Mamei because I've got it here already and it's a wee bit smaller. I suppose I could just chop it in here, but I kind of want to get an idea of the root situation on this so I can see where better to cut. So I think I'm gonna dump it out. So it definitely has this like super long root, which I would hope is coming from near the top of it. But it would be good to see the whole situation, I think. Okay, so there's kind of like two main bits of roots in here, which I wasn't really expecting. I've got the bottom part, which has no leaves on it actually. After today, I did have to cut one off earlier before this, but it's got no leaves on it. And a lot of roots, perfectly healthy, good roots, I think, I hope. They look healthy enough. And then I have this top bit, which has 5 leaves and probably a new one on the way. And I almost want to split it where the roots are. It's just a question of whether I want to do it here or here. Which side of the leaf? Do I want to give it one leaf to grow off of, or just like let it start back from nothing? I think it would look slightly nicer if it did have one leaf on it, so I will keep that leaf. Ready? Okay, I cut it. I also filmed it because I'm gonna do a TikTok, but that was a really easy cut. And the other good thing about this is because the sort of stem crawls along the top of the soil, I don't need to worry about like the callus too much because I'm not putting that into the soil where it's like gonna potentially rot. So let me just put these to the side really quick. So this soil, it is still fairly good. I've had it in this one for a while, but I think it should be fine. I'm just going to be adding a tiny bit of Rhizo Plus, which like activates and promotes like good fungi within your soil. So your soil microbiome is just like generally better. This is from Liquid Gold Leaf, and it's a really cool thing. And it can kind of help reinvigorate soil that's like not tired, because I wouldn't say this stuff is tired, but it's gonna help. It can't hurt. So got that. Then I suppose we pot it back up. I'm going to start by putting just a small layer on the bottom, and then lining up where I want these to go. Like these roots, especially this one, is insane. And this one was coming from like that front node there, which is awesome. Just gonna put that there. Ooh, maybe I need to do the other one first because it's got slightly more roots. Okay, you're coming out. Coming out. You're going in. And I'm gonna put them next to each other, so they're kind of running parallel, because that's what makes the most sense in my head. So it's all facing the same way, because otherwise the leaves wouldn't face the same way as it was growing, which I do not want. I want it to all look nice. Making sure to not bury the stems because they don't need to be buried. But also making sure that it is like fully supported in there, because I don't want it falling over too much. There we go. I might need to tie it up, like put a stake in and just hold it in place, just to make sure that it's staying with a bit of like, staying vertical, because I think that will help it. So if I put a stake in there, I can tie both of these up with a little bit of zip tie, I guess, because that's what I have right here. Or not zip tie, twisty tie. And this is really only until it's like feeling stable. Once it's feeling stable, it should be absolutely fine. It just needs to get like re-stuck in to the soil so it stays nice and happy. And then hopefully this new bit will grow, and then I will get a new growth point from the old one. So that will be really cool. I feel like that was the easy one of this pair. This next one is going to be slightly more difficult, I think, because it's freaking huge. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it does have one dead leaf. You can't even see me, but that's okay. You don't need to see me. You just need to see the fact that the plant is not quite at the edge, not as bad as the other one. I could probably leave it one more leaf, but if I'm doing this now, I may as well do the other one, right? Or if I did the other one, I may as well do this one. So this one, I I don't know if it would be easier to leave it in or take it out. I guess if I'm gonna repot it both from the same end again, it'd be easier if they were all, if I took it out completely. But that's gonna be a pain. Maybe I'll just scoop out some of the pon. That is not ideal because I think I'm tearing some roots like that. And I would not like to tear roots, so I think I'm just gonna have to dump it. Which is just gonna be a bit awkward. This is an absolute process. Ah. The plant was gonna fall on me. I feel like I really should have thought this through. Not that I didn't think it through, but like how else would you do it? Maybe this is the answer. I'm just pulling the roots out along. Oh my god. Would you look at that? Okay, wow, that's actually really fabulous. I think it would be easiest to pour, or I guess scoop out these while I can. Or like half of them. I am gonna remove some junk roots if I see them, because sometimes you just have dead roots in pon. That's normal. Okie doke. So now I'm gonna put this on my lap. And I can cut the Gloriosum. I think it'd be best to cut basically in half. So like there. I will have to undo these. Oh, that's okay. And I'm just gonna so now I have two halves. And surprisingly, this end bit really doesn't have any roots. Oh, this is a rotted one. I can chop that off. But the end bit that was underneath doesn't really have any roots at all. It's not rotted though, so that's fine. And we can put it back in. So the meter is at the front, it just makes it like a little bit easier. And I can put this here and this here. I'm putting the bigger one at the back because it's bigger, so it will probably stick out higher. But this is where I could really use a second pair of hands, and Joe isn't home. So I'm just gonna have to do what I can, hold them both. Oh wait, this one wants to go, which way am I, what's going on? I'm confused, I'm tangled. Ah! If that's the front, then I need to put these this way. Yep, that way and that way. And I'm gonna try and put them as like close to the end as possible. Like that. And add the pond back in. This pot is also from the Choose a Pond, if you were curious and you wanted like a massive trough, but they're kind of really expensive. I did get it as a gift, which helps, so it's like the perfect kind of thing to get as like a birthday present or Christmas present or something like that, or if you get a gift card to Amazon, it's one of the perfect things to like spend money on, in my opinion, because I would love to have more, because they're like really good quality pots. They're just like really on the expensive side, so they're not something that I think like everybody can get purely because they've been priced out. This would be so much easier if I had the big scoop. Or if I just had the bag and I could pour it without holding. But I can't. I need to hold it. I feel like this one looks a little bit better just because it is bigger and it has more leaves. So it like kind of looks like a fuller plant in general. I am quite sad that the Mamei had lost so many leaves because I didn't think it, like I thought it was growing really well. And I mean, it's not growing badly, it's just, I was hoping, I don't know. It had more leaves in my brain than it did in real life. So they don't have that, like, you imagine your plants and they, for some reason, have more leaves than they actually do, or is that just like wishful thinking? Those are good. Now I can kind of just like pour the rest, I think. There we go. This one probably could also benefit. Or I could just tie it up. I might just tie it up because I have my little Velcro here. So I'm just gonna group them all together and loop it round. And that's either gonna work really well or really poorly. Maybe I do need a stake. Got a chopstick that I can use. Put in the middle of them. And it'll hold them up. This looks so funky right now. Oh, but I kind of love it. It will do a really good job lasting a little bit longer. I have like an entire half of the pot to go still, and hopefully I'll be getting more of these like really big, beautiful leaves, if not bigger. That would be amazing. I think I just need to keep on fertilizing this one because it's been over 6 months in this batch, and because it's Choose a Pond, the fertilizer only really lasts 6 months, so I'm gonna keep on fertilizing it with liquid gold leaf because that is my preferred fertilizer. I think it works really well for semi-hydro, and my plants seem to really like it. So that is what I'm going to carry on with. And the good thing is, because again this lays on top of the medium, I don't need to worry about it like callousing over, or yeah, I don't need to worry about it callousing over because it just will, because it's out in the air. So yeah, that was actually really easy. Thanks for joining me in repotting my, whatchamacallit, crawling plants. I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed doing it with you. I hope that it could give you some inspiration on what you can do with your crawling plants and how you can upgrade yours as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on what crawling plants you have that need upgrading, if you have any crawling plants that need upgrading, or any other houseplanty content you'd like me to make in the future. And don't forget to subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! I do the plant thing, but this is heavy. Bye.